Born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, former trader, real estate investor, and startup expert turned venture capitalist and global success coach. He has personally mentored and worked with some of the sharpest entrepreneurs and companies in the world, including Brian Tracy, Mark Victor Hansen, Robert Allen, Les Brown, Vic Conant, and billion-dollar firms like the MGM Resort Properties in Las Vegas, Nevada, and the billion-dollar powerhouse Lottomatic. He has helped take companies from zero to over $500 million, some public, some private, and everything in between. He is the host of the nationally syndicated radio show, The Rainmaker Show, and has been featured in a number of personal development movies, including Pass It On and Embrace the Journey. He loves to work with entrepreneurs and small business owners. One of the students' projects hit the top 1,000 websites in the world in less than 12 months, with over 300,000 customers and revenues of just over $2 million per month. How many people would like to learn the secrets of that success story? He has just completed his new book, The Spirit of a Rainmaker, which is certain to be a bestseller. He travels relentlessly, speaking to small and large groups, and shares specifically what it takes to build a successful company. His company, Power Team International, sponsors and hosts more than 100 events per year, including the Small Business Expos and super conferences that have included superstars like T. Harv Eker, Bob Proctor, and even former President Bill Clinton. His passion is to guide individuals, entrepreneurs, and companies to achieve their dreams. He is one of the most connected guys on the planet. He has a billion-dollar Rolodex and has been interviewed on major networks like NBC, ABC, and Fox. He is the creator of the Rainmaker Summit Business Success Program, which has helped entrepreneurs worldwide find their passion, become laser-focused, and build their ultimate 2-year success plans. How many people here today can use a comprehensive 2-year success plan? He is currently ranked in the top 25 speakers in the area of motivation and inspiration. He is the CEO founder of one of the top venture capital business coaching firms in the world, Power Team International. Get ready for some amazing content on how to succeed in business, connect with millionaires, and discover the secrets to quantum success. He will share with you specifically what it takes to create massive success in today's global business marketplace. Everybody, stand to your feet and welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Bill Walsh.
You guys ready to have some fun? Turn left, right, say you look good, but I look better. Hey, listen, you got to have some fun, yes? How many of you guys like the idea of making a lot more money? Say, that's me. Turn left, right, and say you deserve more money. Tell them. Absolutely. And how many of you guys also like the idea of, once again, having the next year be one of your best years ever? Say, that's me too. How many of you guys actually own a business? Yes? And how many of you guys are entrepreneurs? How many of you guys are in transition? I didn't say unemployed, I said transition. And how many of you guys also own, maybe involved with some kind of home-based business? And how many of you guys like the idea of making new ways to make money? Yeah, you do, huh? Say the word residual. Say it like you're getting it. It feels good, doesn't it? How many of you ever took that course in high school or college? How to get residual income? Oh, all the hands, no hands went up. How come you didn't take it? Because they never offered it. But how many of you guys do like the idea of actually monetizing, write this down, your intellectual property? Put your finger right here. Check this out. Just try it out. Say, I have great intellectual property. Say, I am going to monetize my intellectual property. Turn left, right, and say, that's interesting. See, one of my business partners, he wrote a book called Chicken Soup for the Soul. And he had that same idea, and he got laughed at. No one's going to buy stupid stories of people's stories. That's not going to ever sell. His name is Mark Victor Hansen. They've sold, write this one down, 500 million copies. See, if you don't believe in yourself, why would somebody else? We run a venture fund. We invest in great ideas all the time, right? But if someone doesn't have a clear vision, why would I ever give them any money at all? Does it make sense? And a lot of times we have these businesses with no vision, and we wind up being busy. How many of you guys can relate to being busy? Come on, be honest, right? So now turn left, right, and tell somebody that busy equals broke. And it may not be that you're busy, sometimes you're busy in the business, right? But a lot of times we never step out and actually look at the business. Does that make sense? We start thinking about these things. How many of you guys have some big goals? How many of you guys had big goals last year that didn't show up this year? Yeah, there you go. So what's the definition of insanity? And expecting what? A different result. Absolutely. How many of you guys actually by chance might know some negative people? How many of you guys know some really negative people? How many of you guys live with that person? Oh, yeah, wait a second, right? Here's what has to happen. They got to go. Listen, I didn't come here to be your buddy. I came here to help you understand what does it take to launch, grow, and build a great business, right? See, a lot of times what happens, you don't need a business coach to be nice to you. You need a business coach to be honest with you. You need a business coach to understand that these are the things you've got to do to run that company. And here's what a guy, write this name down, his name was Jim Rohn. What Jim Rohn said, he said, you can help 1,000 people, you can't carry 3. And I'm telling you, many of your companies, sometimes you're trying to carry people. Oh, they're a nice guy, they're my family, they're so-and-so. Listen, if they're not part of the solution, I promise you this, they're part of the problem. And you got to take a really good, deep look, right? How many of you guys want to get rid of the negative people forever? Say, that's me. So you pull out your cell phones, and you erase all their names and numbers. You take them right out of your phone. How many of you guys do believe in positive and negative energy? You're carrying around all those negative people in your phone. You're carrying around what? Negative energy. And what's your name, sir? Felipe. So we're going to change your voicemail tonight. You okay with that? It'll say something like this. You've reached my cell phone. Your call is very important to me. You know, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But at this point in my life, I am making some major changes right now. And if I don't call you back, you're obviously one of them. Yeah, you're like, oh, I can't do that, right? Listen, if you don't get rid of some of the old, you won't make room for some of the new. Does that make sense? Because what I know is whatever you feed is what grows. How many guys are really serious about making a lot more money? Put your hands up high. Let me see. Everyone in the room, right? The rest of you guys are not? You just want to keep doing what you're doing? That's okay, right? But unless you're willing to change some of the things you're doing, you keep getting what you've always what? Got. So you might have heard this little saying, if you want things to change, you have to what? You have to change. You don't have to change. Write this down. You got to change the conversation. And a lot of times the conversation with the negative voice that comes. How many of you guys know about the negative voice? Come on, you're great, you're amazing, you're incredible. No, you're not. You're a loser and you're broken. Your car, it sucks. And those negative people, they're always there, right? Listen, if you're doing great stuff, I promise you there's negative people around you that can't wait to drag you down. Because misery loves what? No, it loves your company. If you're positive, you're inspired, you're doing great work, I'm telling you right now, there's always people in your life, even if you had an awesome, amazing day, right? You could call someone, I had a great day, it was incredible, to say, well, it's not going to last. Right? And these people, a lot of times, I know you hear about this, the good news is only a few of those people, they just get around a lot. Does that make sense? They just do it. It makes sense. And I think when a lot of times we look at our companies, look at these businesses, I want you to write down this one word, because this one word will change your life. The word is vision. Write down the word vision, right? Here's an individual that's on the screen, right, that people laughed at. They gave him a hard time. He was fired from his own company. He was told he would never make it. It wasn't going to work. But he always had one thing that he focused on, was a big vision. And if you really want to make things happen in your life and your business, it's not about motivating. I don't believe in motivation. What happens when you motivate idiots? What do you have? Motivate idiots, right? Where are they going? Nowhere. The idea is to have a vision so big in your life and your business that it pulls you to where you're going. See, if I was to challenge you today, or those that are online today, right? Write down your big vision. What is the big vision for your brand? Give me those one sentence of where your company's going 5 years from today. Because if you can tell me where it is you want to go, I can help you get there. We can build the team, the systems, the programs, the plan, the connections, right? But if you don't have a clear vision as to where you're going, then any path will do. And if any path will do, I'll promise you this, you'll be right back to where you started from. So think about right now, what is the vision for your brand? And if I called your top customers, would they know the vision for your brand? Would your employees know the vision for your brand? Because if they don't know the vision as to where you're going, once again, they're confused. And we confuse the vision with the mission. They're very, very different, right? When I look at a business, and I look at business deals all the time, right? First thing is I say, who's the leader? I don't invest in the plan. I don't invest in the company or the concept or the team. I invest in the leader. I don't care how good your team is. Without a good leader, I promise you this, they're going to fail. Doesn't make sense so far. So begin to think this process through, right? How do you get from where you're at to where you know you're supposed to be? It's not about somebody pushing you. And there is no magic dust. I don't believe in get rich quick. I think that get rich quick equals get broke faster. Does that make sense? It's take a couple years, build a real business that serves real customers. I look at a customer and I look at a business, right? Number one, are they acquiring customers? Write this down. And are they retaining customers? If you want to see the value of any company, it's not how many customers you can sell, it's how many customers can you keep. Do you have the same customers that pay you? Just think about this. If you could go back 5 years from today, and every customer you ever sold something to, how cool would it be to still be getting paid from those customers somehow, some way? And maybe not that they're buying products from you, maybe they're just referring customers to you. See, there's so many new ways to look at growing businesses today, and I think a lot of times that we get stuck in what we know, not to being open to what really is happening out there. You're seeing things change in our worldwide economy today that have never happened before. You're watching wealth accumulation happen in 3 to 5 years. It used to take 300 to 500 years. We got a kid, he's 13 years old out in North Carolina. He makes $50,000 a month selling hot sauce. He's 13 years old. He's in 8th grade. Both of his parents now work for him. Is that crazy? Say, I have. Come on, loud. Say, I have. Big things to do. Turn left, right, and say, you don't know who you're sitting next to. Tell them. Tell them. Because many times you don't. Many times, believe me when I tell you, that one person can change your entire life and your business for what? Forever. But the question is, are you getting around the right people on a regular basis to make that happen? And I know a lot of times we get stuck. How many of you guys sometimes feel like you're stuck? Come on, you get to a certain level and it's like, how do I crack through that 200K or 500K or $1 million mark, right? Write this one down. You can't do it all by yourself. Because if you could have got there by yourself, you'd what? You'd already be there. Exactly. And I started to realize this. I went down, I spent 5 days at Richard Branson's home, right? I thought I was doing great stuff. I got there like, I haven't even started. There is so much more to do, right? Because no matter where you're at, this is important, everybody, that once your mind expands, it never goes back. Once your mind expands, it never goes back. And so I started to realize when I looked at all these things that were happening in the marketplace, and I want you to write down these 2 words because you'll forget them later. It's called disruptive technology. Disruptive technology. I'll give you an example. Who's the largest limousine and taxi service in the world? Uber. How many taxis do they actually own?
0.
Who's the largest hotelier in the whole world? Airbnb. How many hotels do they own? How many? 0. And they're both less than 6 years old. And one of them started with $1 million seed round of funding. Does that make sense? So when you start to think about it, if you've got a great idea, the worst thing you can do is not monetize your idea. So today I'm going to help you understand what does it look to launch, grow, and build a great company. How do you build a multi-million-dollar business? But how do you do it the right way? How do you take the time to create massive value in the marketplace, become the specialist, and own your niche? Would that be fun? And then we'll take about 10 entrepreneurs that are here today, and we'll help you guys incubate those brands for a whole year. Would that be fun? How many of you guys really know that you could probably use some help with your marketing, with your team building, with your systems, with your connections, right? Because I'm going to share with you stuff today that if you'll just take good notes, and I'm going to give you a lot of websites. Some you might already know about because it's a pretty in-tune group. I get that, right? But I promise there'll be some new things too that you can use today, right now. When? Today. Would that be helpful? Yes? So my background is very simple. Born and raised in Chicago. Out of high school and college, became a trader. From that, invested in real estate. From that, turnarounds. I've spent most of my adult career, the last 24 years, doing turnarounds. If you had an idea, I'd come work for your business, or your business, or your business, and I'd come in and fire the staff, or clean it up, or take it public, or sell it. But it was always someone else's business. Make sense? And after about 10 years of doing that, I'd kind of get burnt out. How many of you guys ever felt burnt out? I mean, it was like deal after deal. And I was making a lot of money, but at the same token, I had to go find something new to do. And I just said, and someone went public, and I want to make this very clear to you guys. I've been broke and wealthy. Write this down. Broke sucks. I don't care what they tell you, but when you're broke, you'll find out who your real friends are. Does that make sense? So I've been there. Around the year 2000, I took a couple years off, and I said, why not create something awesome to help all small business owners? And that's really what the premise came from. How many of you guys want to make really big money? I mean, really ridiculous money, right? Write this down. Solve big problems. You solve big problems, you'll make big money. So we knew that most of small businesses failed. It wasn't our stat, it was a government stat, right? So we said, if we can create something to help all small business, we can create a big winner. So for those 2 years we took off, I said, let's create something to help all those small businesses. And we teamed up with a company out of Arizona called GoDaddy. Who's ever heard of GoDaddy? Yeah, now you have, right? But back then they were like a nobody. We said, let's give somebody a great website. How many of you guys have a great website that makes more than $5,000 a month? What happened? What would be a good time to get one of those? When? Right now, right? So we knew if we had a good website. The second part was a great business plan. I started to realize that either you schedule your success or you plan your failure. Either schedule your success or plan your failure. So the idea was to build a good business plan to give them inside of a box, right? We gave them a business in a box. And then I figured the third part of the equation was to help entrepreneurs, because they have a big problem with this, get them organized. How many of you guys have some clutter in your life? Come on, be honest. And you on the cam at home, right? You got some clutter in your life, right? I think we all have some of that, right? And the clutter test is simple. Just take me out to your car. She's like, hell no, right? Just show me the trunk of your car, because if the trunk is cluttered, what else is cluttered? Your life. So we knew that. So we teamed up with a company out of Utah called Franklin Covey. I mean, Franklin Covey is a household name today, but they weren't back then, right? But I knew they had a really cool system that connected, write this down, vision, mission, path, and purpose. It's critical for a business. You can tell me you're making all kinds of money, but I'm telling you right now, if the vision, mission, path, and purpose aren't connected, you're going to be doing it for a short time. And if you're doing it all by yourself, right, then you're going to be doing it for a shorter time. It's many times, a lot of times we don't realize the sooner you can get yourself out of the picture, you'll make more what? How many of you guys, once again, are okay with making more money? Say, that's me. So we knew we had a great product, and I'm telling you today that a great product by itself is not enough. I don't care what your business is, 90% of your success is marketing. 90% of your success is marketing. How many of you guys have seen really great products nobody buys? Come on, be honest. How many of you guys have seen really crappy products sell all over the place? What's the only difference? Marketing. And the best marketer in the world other than Jesus Christ is probably right there on the screen, right? This guy's good. They would have you walk into a store with your credit card already out in your hand, right? You don't even know exactly what you bought. It doesn't matter. You were what? You were buying. How many of you guys can agree with that? That's good marketing. See, there's a big difference between marketing and sales. Are you with me? Their marketing was so good, they would lock you in. By the time you walked in, you were already a buyer. Oh, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? I'm the same way, right? Give me one of those, whatever, that Mac or this one or that, and I've got a couple of them with me, right? And I went in with the Gotta Have It card, right? Here's the Gotta Have It card. Just give me that one. And the guy already has the thing in his hand. Does that make sense? You ever see that? They walk in, their only question is, do you want us to email the receipt or print it out for you? Right? Do you understand that's all good what? That's all good marketing, right? And so as all this started to happen, right, we created this product, and without marketing, which we didn't have millions of dollars back then, I knew we couldn't make it. And I began to search out who could be good marketing partners. And I want you to write this down too. In your business, I don't care what business you have, I want you to think of 5 elite marketing partners today that if they got behind your product or service, your sales would skyrocket. Not grow, skyrocket. Begin to think once again, quit thinking in moves, start thinking in quantum success, right? So I started, are there any authors here today? Any authors? What happens if Oprah says she likes your book? You become an automatic bestseller overnight. How many guys will be okay with that? So forget the Oprah effect. Think about who's in your own backyard. Who's in your community right here. That if they have a sphere of influence and they get behind your product, your sales will what? Skyrocket. I started to realize early on that I could never catch what's called transference of trust. I don't care how much money you have, you cannot pay enough money for someone that's already built that reputation to get behind your product because they already have a built-in database. What happens if Joel Osteen says he likes your product? You'll have tons of what? Sales. So I made a list of all these thought leaders. Brian Tracy, Mark Victor Hansen, John Gray, John Assaraf, right? Les Brown. Big companies like Infusionsoft, American Express. I went down the line. I said, if they're our marketing partners, they endorse our programs, we'll sell a lot more what? Programs. And I want you to do the exact same thing. I want you to begin to think way bigger. Begin to think in quantum results, not in dollars you spent. I want you to think of one thing that changed my life forever was invest in great relationships. Do everything that you can to get around the right people on a regular basis. I'll give you an example. If you hang out with 4 broke people, turn to the person left to right and tell them you'll be the 5th. Would you agree? Yes or no? Well, it goes the other direction too. You start hanging out with wildly successful people and you begin to create a relationship with them. They're going to challenge you to play where? At the next level. And that's exactly what happened. So we teamed up with a group out of New York called the Learning Annex. They became a marketing partner. Within 20 months, we were in 20 countries. Because I'm going to tell you that you can't do it all on your own. And you don't have enough money when you're starting out to try to catch that. So please write this one down too, that for a small business, cash is like oxygen. Cash is like oxygen for a small business, right? So what happened because of that is in 2005, right, we actually wound up launching something very cool called the Rainmaker Program. And I go back to that because I think it's critically important that I can't believe it's 10 years ago today. We launched a business incubator model. We said come for 2.5 days. We'll work on 3 areas: leadership, systems, and accountability. Number 1, make you a better communicator. Make sure that all your goals are lined up with your vision, your mission, your plan. Number 2, make sure you've got all the systems, right? iPhone apps, websites, CRMs, marketing funnels, sales funnels, loyalty programs, right? All the little pieces that most companies talk about having, and we do a deeper dive, most of them are missing at least 70% of them. Is that pretty awesome? And the last part was get them organized. We made them apply to come. We charge them $5,000, right? We would only take 200 customers the first year. How many guys would be okay with an extra $1 million in consulting fees? Yes, you'd be okay with that? Yes? Set your prices where they actually create a lot of value for the client and always give them so much value they think you're nuts. Say, I am? A little crazy. Turn left to right. Tell them it's the crazy ones. Tell them it's the crazy ones that make all the money. Say, I am? A little crazy. See, if you're an entrepreneur, I know you're a little crazy, right? Or you wouldn't be where you're at. I look for the ones that are a little crazy, a little different, a little strange, right? Because they're the ones that make the difference. They'll get outside that comfort zone. So when we created that program in 05, 06 we had 2,000 applicants. I knew we had something awesome by then, right? 07 we launched a venture fund, began funding some of these companies, and then we added more to the course, right? We made the course virtual. We went from just USA to Canada, Europe, Caribbean, Malaysia, Singapore, Australia. Now we license it in cities all over the world, right? It became not just a virtual course, not just a live course, it became a community. And we built something very special that plugged you in for a whole year. We added more events, right? We added internet marketing programs, we added the connections, we added the marketplace, and we took the price from $5,000 to $30,000. Turn to the person left to right and say, when people pay a lot, they pay a lot of attention. Would you agree? So we knew we had something great, and then we said we'll do something very unique because we still like the idea of deal flow. At the end of the day, we're a deal flow, right? If you've got a great idea and I can help take you national and you're part of our program, we get to know who you are and we can represent your product or service. If we sent you clients, how many of you guys would send me a 10% fee? You guys be okay with that? If we lined up a joint venture for you, how many of you guys would pay us for that? You should be willing to pay all day long, right? So we knew once again, if we create a big enough funnel worldwide, we could create deal flow. And because of that deal flow, it became even more exciting. And then we said, instead of paying us 30 grand, we'll let you pay less than 10% of that if you'll give us just two things. Number one, let us publish your story. If you guys made more money, would you let me publish your story? Yes or no? No problem, right? How about this? If you made more money, how many of you guys would give back to a local charity? Would you guys be willing to do that? The rest of you guys wouldn't? If you made more money, you won't give back? Listen, you understand this, that social impact is the currency of the future. Social impact is the currency of the future. It's not were you successful, it's was your company significant? Did you actually make a difference while you're here? I keynote the M&A Awards 3 or 4 times a year. It's the largest transactions in North America, all of Europe, right? You know what they're based on their success is? Did they make a difference where they spent the money? You want to read the future of where the market's going? It's not in the newspaper. Just pick up M&A, just go to any M&A report you can find. Look at where the money is going. Does that make sense? Look at where Goldman Sachs, look at these big companies, look where these family funds now many are north of $500 million, small family practices. Look at where their money's going. If you want to see, how many of you guys want to make ridiculous money? Say, that's me. Write this one down. Figure out where the world's going and get there first. Figure out where the world's going and get there first. So we created something very special, and it became a whole year program. It's an incubator, right? So we challenge you 1 to 2 hours a week. How many of you guys could do 1 to 2 hours a week? Would you be open for that? What if I told you you'd hate the first 90 days? You okay with that too? How about this? No more TV for 90 days. Turn it off. See, whatever happens, someone will send you a text. Does that make sense? They'll give you the bad news. And the idea is that we made it very simple. We charge $249 for 12 months. It's good for you and a guest and your kids. Plug into all the virtual, plug into all the live, get all the software, get access to the teams, right? Or make one payment of $2,000 for the year. So we got the price stuff out of the way, and I'll tell you what happened there is that it went virtual and went viral, right? Now we license the course in, I don't know, 35 cities around the world. I get the honor, and I do call it the honor, to speak and train at some of the coolest events on the planet. And I think that's the big thing too. It's that, you know, it's not if you're successful. Write this down. It's not if you're successful. It's how your customer's successful. Are they making more money because of the doors, the training, the programs you put them through? If they are, you've got a great business, right? 2008, we launched a private mastermind called Win. Twice a year we meet. You become the person that speaks in front of the room. The whole room gives you feedback. 2010, we launched our speaker programs for those that want to sell from the stage. Because I believe there's a big shortage of women speakers today. You go to the biggest events in the world, 90% of the speakers are men. 80% of the attendees are women. Turn left to right and say, that's got to change. How many of you guys are something that you're great at that you'd like to speak about? Put your hands up high if you're great at what you do and you want to speak about it, right? How many of you guys enjoy the idea of making more than 10 grand an hour? Oh yeah, now the hands go up, right? See, if you're great at what you do and you don't speak about it, you're what? You're crazy. You're leaving a lot of money on the table. 2011, I was approached with an idea to put $1 million into this cool idea called expos, right? These business expos are going to come to these different cities, right? My partner said, no, people don't go to expos. Expos are kind of a dead thing, right? Of course, I said, I don't believe you, and I believe in these guys' idea, right? 5 years later, we'll be in about 14 cities this next year with more than 100,000 entrepreneurs coming to our events. And of course, my partners came back and said, that was a great idea. You see, if you don't believe in yourself when nobody else does, you're never going to live your dreams. Write this down. You're going to live somebody else's plan. Are you with me? I never say quit your job and live your dreams. I say understand that anything you build takes time. I believe that success comes in through what's called incremental gains. So I thought we'd do something fun today because I only have a little bit of time with you guys. And for those of you guys online, thanks for plugging in from all over the world. We do have all kinds of tribes in different countries, so you can connect to that as well. And I was very honored to actually speak at the last GKIC event. We were actually putting some really great stuff together with GKIC. So you guys, I know a lot of you guys are part of that membership group. But I'll tell you what, they've got some great stuff too. And 2016 is going to be an awesome year. I've actually been to some of their planning sessions. Some of the things they're doing is pretty exciting. But I thought we'd do something very different today. If somebody can get me like a hot tea or something, that'd be great. But I thought we'd actually take some questions, right? I'm not sure if you can take questions online, but we'll take a few minutes for these. So you can ask any question you want about venture funding, business growth, connections, public speaking. Don't ask me about cooking because I'm not a chef. Does that make sense? I can make great reservations. I got that one down to a science, right? But I'm not a life coach either, so don't ask me life coaching questions. I can help life coaches get a lot more customers, but that's not my area of expertise. So you guys can ask any question you want. You've got my undivided attention. I flew in just for you guys today. Is there any questions you guys have about launch, grow, build a business, or getting capital for your company? Anything. Don't be shy. Come on, you're all here. You're all business owners, right? You can ask anything you want. Go ahead.
From an investing point of view, what's the first thing you're looking at?
The leader. If I'm going to invest in a company, you want to write this guys down. I always look at the leader. Tell me the person running the business. The second thing I look for is the plan. Do they have a plan that's flexible? Have they really ganted out the next 2 years of their business? Have they reverse engineered the success? Part of our Rainmaker program, we challenge you to gant out the next 2 years and then work back quarter by quarter and figure out what's the budget, what's the team, what's all the things required to make that happen. And of course, inside that plan, I want to make sure they got some flexibility. So we build all our programs, write this down, guys, around minimum, maximum, and outrageous goals. Minimum, maximum, and outrageous goals. We help you build your org chart, not based on what you've created today, but where you're going to be. If you're going to plan 3 to 5 years out from today, who's required in your team now? Who do you plan to have on that team to execute that model? We also look at the systems. Do they have a good website? Does the website convert, right? Does the website actually have anything that's related to being on the first page of Google or MSN or Yahoo? 98% of all the transactions come from page 1. So we look at, do they have good systems? iPhone apps, websites, CRM, loyalty programs. When I look at the rest of the business, I'm always looking to see who the team is. And the first part of the team is who's on your internal team. Who's on your internal team? What I highly recommend you guys do is get what are called unemployable experts. Find unemployable experts to be a part of your board level. That'll consult with your brand, and you always pay them what's called delta revenue up. Does that make sense? So if your revenue is $1 million a year now or $100,000 a year now, you pay them on the growth of the revenue. You want to surround yourself with people that don't want a day pay. They want market pay, they want equity, or they want what's called delta revenue or gross royalty revenue. If somebody helps you go from $100,000 a year to $10 million a year, turn to the person left to right and say, pay them. Pay them. You want people around you like that, right? So when I see a business plan, if they don't have a team of experts around them, it means they haven't thought through their plan well enough yet. Does it make sense? Thank you so much. That's perfect. And so when I look at those business, I don't need none of that stuff, no, just like this. When I look at those plans, I begin to realize, right? Do they have the right plan? Do they have the right system? Do they have the right team? And then, of course, what's the exit strategy? Not your exit strategy. What's my exit strategy? If I'm the first money in, do I have a liquidation preference, right? Where is my money going to go? Do not ever put in your business plan to pay yourself big salaries. No one's going to give you any money. Does it make sense? They know right away, I'm not going to give you $1 million so you can pay yourself $150,000 a year. It's always low salary, big bonuses. You work for EMC, you work for some of the biggest companies out there. Most of their salespeople start at $25,000 a year. They're paid based on production. If people don't produce, don't pay them. Does it make sense? The ones that do produce, pay them ridiculously well. Our average team with our company today is more than 7 years with our brand, out of 10 years. That's not by accident. Does it make sense? It's by design. And I think a lot of times when you're doing these business plans, once again, get rid of the pie in the sky stuff. Does it make sense? Have a good, better, best. Have a good, better, best. And always make sure that if something doesn't go right, because if you try to get money in round 1 and don't deliver the outcome, let me tell you something. The capital will cost you 10 times more in round 2. Does that make sense? You want to make sure if you don't hit those numbers and you try to get more money, it's not going to happen. Now listen, if you're a startup company and you want low money, you're just trying to get things going, write this down. Use barter. There's a company we use nationwide called ITEX, I-T-E-X. They're phenomenal at what they do. If you've got digital products, which by the time I finish, I'm going to teach you guys how to create your own digital product today, you're crazy not to trade your digital products for barter. Because think about it, you're paying a 6% fee to use some of their services. You can get print media, you can get advertising, you can get PR, you can get hotel rooms, you can get so many things on barter. You can get tickets for the Miami game, you get whatever you want, right? And once again, it cuts in and saves you cash. Turn left to right and say, for a small business, cash is like oxygen. Tell them. It is. And if you don't have that built into your plan, I don't think you've thought through the plan well enough. But I think up to $1 million, you can use some of these new sites, right? I mean, GoFundMe, Kickstarter, there's some great ones. If you use Kickstarter, go look up this video. It's called World's Coolest Cooler. World's Coolest Cooler. They've done the best job I've ever seen at raising capital. But always do me a favor and stay away from this. Stay away from friends, family, and fools. It's called the triple F, right? I'm a big believer, just write a better plan. And we'll teach you this at Rainmaker. We'll show you step by step, make sure you've got this done right. Because you can't gamble on your future. And if somebody's not going to take the time to build out an effective plan, I'm telling you right now, you're setting yourself up for what? Failure. Who else? Good question. Come on, guys. I get paid a lot of money for this stuff. I'm here to help you guys. Any question you got? There's no dumb questions, right? What's your name?
Joel.
Say hi, Joel.
Hi, Joel.
Come on, let's go. Hi, Joel.
Hi, Joel.
That's what I thought. I heard the Renegade group was like a bunch of badasses. What's up? Where's the energy at here? Come on.
We're a luxury services-based company.
Uh-huh.
We're looking to add a small retail storefront to capture the do-it-yourself and the lower level product.
What kind of luxury? What did you do? Luxury what?
We do smart homes and home theaters.
Got it, yeah.
Maybe. So we're going after the do-it-yourself market, and we want to offer products that, like the Nest thermostat, things people can just pick up on their own and convert them into the higher ticket service. Going into that retail space, what would be the first thing you
It's very expensive, right? So the first thing I can tell you about retail space is you got to have the traffic. Quit trying to buy the traffic. Does it make sense? And I would even test, I know it's the most expensive space on the planet, in the center of a mall. You can literally buy the most expensive space in the malls, the little kiosks you see in the center of the mall. Believe it or not, they make some big ones now. You can make state-of-the-art centers in there, because I don't care what your business, if you're going to test something like that, always test it short term. Never test it. Always have an option out. Do a 5-year option if you do a 5-year with a 1-year kick out, right? So any real estate you're going to do like that, quit trying to buy the traffic, step into the traffic. Especially if you're not a known brand. Listen, if you're a known brand, you can put it anywhere. But if they don't know who your brand is, you go to where the traffic's already at. When Burger King picked their locations, all they did was look and say, where did McDonald's have a store? McDonald's got a store there, we'll buy a store about 3 blocks away. Does that make sense? Or 2 blocks away. Because they knew McDonald's already spent all the money on what? So figure out who does what you do very well, and it may not be here. Search anywhere in the country and look to see what they do and see how they do it very well, right? And then go copy what they've what? What they've done. Do not gamble on guessing. I got this great retail. I don't care how nice the face front is. I don't care how nice the building is. It doesn't matter. If it's not loaded with traffic, it'll kill you. We own nightclubs in Chicago, right? We have a couple restaurant nightclubs right in downtown Chicago. They're next to Wrigley Field, right? So we don't spend a dime on marketing because we're surrounded by what? People like to drink and party. Are you with me? And we got Wrigley Field 2 blocks away. So literally they fall out of the stadium and fall into our what? Into our place. So a lot of times location is really critical, but before you spend one dime, I'm a big believer, if you understand this, guys, to be a pioneer, it always costs you 10 times more. To be a pioneer, it's always going to cost you 10 times more. So go look and see who's already doing it very well. Learn as much as you can. Even if you had to, I'd go work there. Sounds crazy, right? See what they're doing, see what works, right? When Howard Hughes, who's ever seen the TV show called Undercover Boss? Do you know where that idea came from? That was from Howard Hughes. When Howard Hughes would buy a company, he'd go work at the bottom rung. TWA, he was a baggage handler. Can you imagine Howard Hughes handling your bags? Can I check your bags in, sir? He wanted to learn the process of the business. He wanted to see how the customer was treated. But from that, right, he bought the companies. He tried to kick him out of the Desert Inn Hotel, the DI, right? He wanted to buy in the hotel. He told the manager he was fired. He said, if you ever treat customers like that, he bought the whole floor of the hotel, and they tried to kick him out. So the guy came to kick him out. He said, you're not going to kick me out. I own the hotel. Our team bought it. So think differently. Does that make sense? Good, helpful? Good, what else? We'll take one more, and then we'll kind of dive into some of this stuff, because I only got about an hour. Come on, guys, no dumb questions, right? Take advantage of this time. You can ask any question you want. What's your name?
Jamie.
Say hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
Go ahead.
So I have an idea for a digital, it's a digital retail product.
A digital what product?
Retail product.
Got it, yeah, okay, cool.
So I think it's a good idea. I've shared
Yep.
it with people. I've had the design spec.
Do you walk around with NDAs?
No.
You should. So anytime you're going to share your idea, just have an NDA. Even at our high-level events, right? If somebody wants to bring me a deal, I say, let me give you an NDA first. It creates respect instantly. Does that make sense? They can always go around it. Someone can cheat an NDA, right? But it shows a sign of respect. I have something great, right? Don't ever leave home without the NDA. It'll be the best $500 you spend a lawyer to put it together right around your niche, around your product. So when you have the conversation, I want to talk to you about this product. I just need you to do me a favor, sign the NDA, right? So the same thing, when we sit down on deal flow with people, here's our NDA. We'll give you an NDA, and it goes both ways. It's a mutual NDA. Because if we share ideas with you, once again, that are with our internal groups, right, you can't go to our people. Does that make sense? Happens all the time. People say, Bill, can you put me on the phone with Mark Victor Hansen? Can I call this person? I say, sure, let's put together a program. Let's put together a deal. I mean, I have no problem opening doors if someone has something great, right? Go ahead. So what was the actual question? So that's the first part, right?
Sure. Okay. So I have this idea. I'm thinking of Kickstarter, GoFundMe.
Yeah. How much are you trying to raise?
Well, that's the thing. I have a business plan that's only a few pages long. Part of the question is, how long is a good-sized business plan?
First of all, most venture groups, and there's a difference between venture groups and hedge groups. So make sure you guys understand this. A venture group's going to bet long-term with you. They're going to bet on cash flow. A hedge group has two interests: sell you or take you public. So if you're speaking to a hedge group, understand why they're going to talk to you. They see an idea, and it's all within 2 to 3 years. A venture group says we'll bet on the long-term money. Does that make sense? So once again, a one-page executive summary is perfect. University of Chicago has a great plan for one-page executive summaries. But you should have a 20-page business plan ready. And I just talked to you about the things, once again, team, systems, plans, Gantt, good, bad, upside, downside, right? Liquidation prep. These are all things. Once again, guys, we teach all this at Rainmaker. Does that make sense? We teach you this process because I'm telling you for a fact that if you're more prepared, you win. You can come to our course with no business at all. We call it a whiteboard customer, right? We help you build those things out because without those things, you're guessing. And you have no time to guess. So once again, I think there's a lot of things you can use. But one page, write this down, guys, for the executive summary. 20 page for a good plan. Go into the details. They want to know the team. They want to know who's going to execute the plan, right? They want to know what the use of my money is going to be. I want good, better, best on the money, right? It doesn't matter if they're investing 50 grand or 50 million. Believe it or not, they'd much rather raise 10 million plus than raise $1 million. It's the same amount of paperwork. And the bigger guys would rather do a $100 million deal than a $10 million deal. They've got to preset that document. Say, show me the docs. They're about this thick, right, on a $100 million deal. They're already pre-done. They've already got all the different things in there for them to put the money in. So it's a much easier transaction. It's these custom transactions, right? But the big thing, everyone, please stay away from friends, family, and fools. It'll save you a lot of headaches. Good, helpful so far? You guys ready for more? Say, I'm ready for more.
Ready for more.
Say it like you mean it. Come on, I'm ready for more. Good, that's what I thought. So let me just share with you quickly, right, a couple things that happened this last year which were kind of cool. I got to speak at the UN, which is pretty awesome. 16 heads of state. We talked about organic business growth, right, through sustainable business and through building local communities. In addition to that, I got ranked by Guru Magazine, top 10 in the world. Marshall Goldsmith was #1, which was pretty cool. And then most recently, I gave a talk at the Small Business Expo in Boston. And this nice guy walks up to me afterwards and he says, that was a great presentation. I said, oh, thank you. And he said, I just want to ask you a quick question. He said, I noticed that you mentioned this company called Constant Contact. I said, well, they got a good product that helps a lot of people. We're a customer. We've been a customer for 6 years. He said, do they pay you for that? I said, no, I just like their product. He said, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is actually the company that I co-founded 17 years ago. And I just want to say thanks for saying that. That really meant a lot. And I'm like, no shit, right? Like, sit down for a second, right? And we had a great conversation. The other night we had dinner. The next day we had lunch. And just a few weeks later we became marketing partners. Is that pretty awesome? He came and spoke at our event in Las Vegas just over the weekend. And he talked about the pillars to build a billion-dollar brand, right? They now have about 650,000, check this out, 650,000 customers and revenues just north of $350 million. And I want to give you a stat that he shared this weekend that I thought was awesome to hear, is that 50% of all their customers, 50%, right, all come from referrals. So when you think about your business, do you have a good customer referral program? Because if you don't, and here's a brand that does nothing but work with small business owners, you are shooting yourself where? In the foot. And their nonprofit arm is amazing because if you're a customer for Constant Contact and you refer a nonprofit, that nonprofit can actually get the service for free. Is that pretty cool? And they simply pay on some of the usage. So I just want to say this, that it's really important. I don't care what level your business is. Write this down. Celebrate small victories. Be open to celebrate small victories. So we think about why do most businesses fail. I would tell you that I believe the #1 reason is self-doubt. I believe Henry Ford said it best. He said, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're what? You're right. First of all, how many guys actually would like to be part of our South Florida Incubator program? Put your hands up high. Who would like to be part of the program? Would you commit 1 to 2 hours a week? Be okay with that, right? And would you guys actually put the work into it? What if I told you you'd hate the first 90 days? Would you be okay with that? You guys okay with that? Yes? Because I start taking you through the process, then you start to see that things have to really be adjusted to get a much higher return on your time. And a lot of times it's not that you're not making a lot of money. I'm sure some of you guys are making a lot of money, but how many of you guys would like to actually have more time back? Say that's me. No doubt about it, right? So when we look at businesses, we start to realize they get right to the finish line of where they're supposed to be and they quit. Or somebody tells them that's a dumb idea, that's not going to work, so they quit, right? I got it on here too. It says right on here. There's a timer on here. Good. So we start to look at these different areas of what takes it to grow that business. And I want to start at the top left. And these are the things we work on. Number one, you got to become an expert. You've got to own your space. The first thing we work with entrepreneurs is stop doing this. Look up here, everybody. Look up here. Stop doing this and do this. Become a specialist. Become absolutely great at what you do. Invest your time to have a clear vision, clear mission, clear path, clear purpose. And you've got to own your IP. So to own your IP, how many of you guys think if you had a little more brand awareness, you'd make more money? They talk to you about writing a book. I'm telling you for a fact, take advantage of their program, right? I know for a fact that authors are now, they're trusted more than doctors. But I'll give you guys some tips you can do tonight to get your brand out a whole lot faster. Yes? You guys be okay with that? Yes? So here's what you do. Go to this website tonight called Livestream. Go to livestream.com and set up your own account. And you're going to launch a little TV program every Monday called Live at 5. Every Monday, Live at 5, you do 10 minutes. How many of you guys could talk about yourself or your company or your products or your services for 10 minutes a week? Could you do that? Yes? If you don't have something to talk about right now, interview an expert and bring them on your TV show. As long as you have a phone, you've got a mobile TV station. That's all you need. Then go to a website called YouTube. Set up your own YouTube channel. As soon as you've done those two things, right, you're going to launch your own free newsletter. So every time you speak, anywhere you go, you're always giving away something for free. Does that make sense? And you'll move them into your newsletter. The newsletter, you can use somebody like Constant Contact, MailChimp, Aweber. I don't care who you use. It doesn't really matter, right? Find someone that has short code technology built into the newsletter system. Write that down because you'll forget this stuff later, I promise you. You want to be able to give out text message software to someone they can actually opt into your stuff instantly. And I'm telling you this because most emails today are not opened. 2% of your emails are opened up, 92% of your texts are opened up, right? So the first thing you do this week right away is get this set up, get your newsletter set up, get it set up where you can actually take some information from anywhere you speak, and you'll always give away free content. I would give away our free newsletter. I don't like to do this on stages that are not our stages, so I won't do this today, but normally if I was speaking somewhere, I would always give you a short code and give you away a free newsletter, right? And this is something, once again, that is super important because if I could have you guys be challenged to go to one event per week, how many? I will teach you how to 10x your lead flow with just one event per week. Would that be pretty awesome? Stop going to networking events and do what's called spray and pray. How many of you guys know about spray and pray? You go there and like you look like a blackjack dealer, right? Passing, here's all my cards, right? Hope somebody calls me. Forget that. Create so much value they'd be crazy not to call you. Does this make sense? Once you have this in place, after 6 months, you begin to charge for the archives. I'll teach you how to charge $10 a month for all your archive videos. First of all, how many of you guys think you do have some good intellectual property? How many of you guys are great at what you do? Quit discounting your success. Does that make sense? Do you think you're great at what you do that people would pay you $10 a month for it? Yes or no? What's 1,000 times 10? 10,000. What's 10,000 times 12? Just write down a lot. Is that pretty good? Yes? And if it takes you 2 years to get 1,000 subscribers, would that be okay? See, what you do is you kill them with value. So in your newsletter, it's always a video from you that's on the top of the newsletter, right? It's always 3 great tips, something that's current events, and it's always spotlighting one of your customers. Always spotlight a great customer. And when we start to think about goals, I'll teach you that there's no more just writing out this want or try or maybe. It's always I am. Everything starts with I am. You've got to own that place of the content. When we help you work on your goals and your milestones, because that's all that they are, do not think because you can achieve a goal it's not right. Write down goals equal milestones. It's simply a way of getting to the path of the vision. Does it make sense? I hate when say I can't achieve my goals because your goals weren't clear in the first place, right? When you got clear, specific, measurable goals that are not about money, they're about serving customers, it's a whole different game. I'm going to tell you right now, stop chasing the money and chase serving the customers. Whoever serves the most customers, they win, and they win hands down against everybody else. Because we feel better. How many of you guys feel better when you serve? Think about it, right? You know when you feel great, you had a great client experience, like, man, this was awesome, right? It feels good. What if you could multiply that effect? Every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Realize your free giveaway, your free content makes that happen. Yes? Say, I am an expert. People buy from experts or innovators. Experts or innovators. So write down which one you are. Less than 5 years in business, innovator. More than 5 years, expert. Quit telling me, if you give me 3 business cards for your different companies, I will never call you for anything. Does it make sense? Because I think you're average at all of them. Be focused on what you do great. And that's one thing we work on with entrepreneurs is get you really focused. Because that's why I say for 90 days you'll be super challenged, but after that you'll start to get it. You'll start to see that when you're on path and purpose and you're a specialist, you're getting what? Paid. Put your hands right here. Say it's my time. You got to know it's your time, right? You can't let someone else tell that, right? You got to own the space that you're in. Second piece of the equation, you got to build a great community. You have to build a great community. You got to start right now. Don't wait. And when I talk about this, I mean you got to have a website that converts. You got to have a team that's around you. You got to make sure that you got good systems in place. iPhone apps, websites, Facebook marketing. One of our newest tools is our new social media marketing suite, right? We'll teach you how to automate all your social media marketing. It's a whole free service inside of our platform now, right? You can all put automated feeds in there with all kinds of cool automated feeds on current news, and literally it does it automatically for you. In addition to that, you got to have text message marketing these days. You got to have a way to actually capture text and actually get message out there through text messaging. And if you're not doing these things and your competitors are, who gets the business? They do all day long. I know you guys probably like some cool technology. How many of you guys currently are on social media? How many of you guys monetize it? So quite a few, right? How many of you guys would like to learn how to get impressions on Facebook every day for free? Every day. We'll teach you that as well. How many of you guys currently do what's called social media scraping? Anybody? No? So one person does, right? Have you guys ever heard of a product called Nimble? Check out nimble.com. It's a brand new software that literally goes out. You say, in my whole database, if someone likes golf, I can pull them right to my CRM. Someone likes travel, someone likes private jets, I can pull them right to my CRM. And it's around $15 a month. It's super affordable, right? How many of you guys currently use social media and overall? How many of you guys have it on your business cards? How many of you guys have business cards? Take your business cards out and look at them real quick. I'm going to give you a quick business card test. Yeah, listen, I didn't come here to make you feel good. Does it make sense? I came here to help you guys. Look at your business cards and look at your business cards closely. If you don't have social media in your cards, you're telling 200 million people you're not social media relevant. And I'm telling you, your customers many times will go to social media before they go anywhere else. How many of you guys actually have like Facebook.com, LinkedIn.com, Twitter.com? I'm going to tell you get rid of all that stuff. Just use their image. Facebook image, Twitter image, LinkedIn image. Go to this service today called Foller, Follr.me. Foller.me is a brand new service, right? It takes all your social media, puts it onto a social wall. And then you embed that to your website. It's always your website name /media. And put those images on there. That little change, and the goal of this is to keep the customer in the castle. See, if the customer leaves your website, where do they go? Somewhere else, maybe to your competitor. They don't buy from you, right? The casinos, I learned this 20 years ago, keep them in the castle. Because if they leave the castle, what else leaves? Their money. So the idea of this is embed them into your website, give them great social media, but they don't have to leave to see it. They can see all your videos, all your RSS feeds, all inside of one location. Good? On your business cards also, this is important. Turn to the person left to right and say, no more business cards. You say, got to be crazy, right? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about gift cards. See, if I passed out $500 Amex gift cards, who would take them today? Would you throw them away? Or would you treat them well? You would treat them well, wouldn't you, right? See, you don't realize you already have great intellectual property. The question is, why not monetize it and put it on the back of all your business cards? So part of this exercise, which is very, very simple, right? You go to this website tonight. How many of you guys are coachable? How many of you guys would do the work? Are you sure? How many of you guys won't raise your hand no matter what the hell I say? It's okay, I get it, right? It's okay. But go to this cool website tonight called Free Conference Call. You're going to record a 5-minute audio. And the 5-minute audio is going to be the 5 things someone has to know before they buy from someone in your industry. I don't care if you're a chiropractor, you're a dentist, I don't care what business you have. You make a special report that's 5 minutes long. Then you go to this website called Fiverr, Fiverr.com. Or you go to Google and type in Internet Translators. It'll bring you to a company called 1 Hour Translation. They'll take your little 5-minute recording, and please make sure no sales in the recording, pure content. Don't try to sell them anything, just give them great content. They'll send you back what's called a PDF. That becomes a special report. They can send you in any language you want. Does that make sense? Whatever language you want, they'll send it right back to you. Once you have that back, that goes on the back of your business card with a QR code. It also has your website on there. It's always /, write this down, /VIP. /VIP. People are going to go there because they just want to check it out. Does that make sense? But it also, if they like the free content, they always have to opt in for it. So now your business card becomes a gift card. You always put the value of the special report. It could be from $197 to $497, right? And once they fill out that form, how long will you follow up with them for? Forever. You call them right away. Exactly right. Hey, I see you downloaded the report. You got some questions about our real estate service? You got some questions about our electronic services, right? Whatever it's going to be, because write this down. If they like your free content, they'll ask for more. But I'm telling you for a fact, whoever has the best technology, they win. And marketing is everything for your business. So once you have this done, you go to this really cool website called 99 Designs. What's it called? And you have them actually create it for you. Create the look and feel. Say, I am. Not a graphic designer. If you are, cool. If not, quit trying to be one, right? They also give you what's called focus group software. Most people don't know this, right? They give you focus group software that you can actually then send out your test marketing to your entire database on your social media. Now they can vote on your stuff. Does it make sense? When they vote on it, they also have a chance to what from you? Buy from you. Are you with me on this so far? Then you go to a company right here in South Florida called PK Graphics. They're phenomenal at what they do. They're the state's largest shipper, bar none. If you don't like their work, go to a company called Next Day Flyers. They'll make you 5,000 business cards for like 40 bucks. These are all little things, but they're big things. Are you with me? Always have good postcards. Always have good corporate brochures. If you don't like writing this stuff, go to this website called Content Divas. They're the best women, smartest women in the world that can write content for you. They can also write all your blogs, right? Because what we teach at Rainmaker is you have to have all these things, write this down, and then we teach you how to delegate them all. This is not the best use of your time. Are you with me? But it's non-negotiable to run a business. You better have great marketing, great collateral, and because you'll never get a second chance to make that first impression. Have the stuff in your hands right away. Yes? Clear? Are we getting this? Once you have all this stuff done, now you're starting to get ready for business. Get ready for what? In addition to this, to build that community, you got to build that tribe. You got to have good marketing, and you got to understand how do you lean on good marketing partners. So a lot of times we're afraid to do this stuff, but if you can step outside your comfort zone and get connected with the right people, your marketing happens a whole lot faster. So by a show of hands, how many of you guys know that you probably could use some help with all these areas? Come on, be honest, right? If we looked at all your businesses and started to realize if you want to increase the profits, write this down, you increase the leads and you increase the sales conversion. You increase the leads, you increase the sales conversion. If you don't like where the numbers are at, let's get ratios going. And we'll challenge you every day, every week, every month, every quarter. Are you getting better or getting worse? And once you have this in place, it's a whole different game. But don't go out there without the right stuff. Don't go out there with business cards that aren't done right. It's costing you what? Money every day. And as you go to these events, once again, no more spraying and praying. Are you with me? You'll always call the promoter and ask to speak for 2 to 5 minutes. Part of our course in our program, we teach you how to give a great 2-minute power pitch. How to get in front of any room, anytime, anywhere, give away incredible gifts, and create lots of value, and then get new clients. How many guys like the idea of more clients? Say, that's me. Are you sure? So one of the cool gifts I brought for you guys today, we sell these really cool CDs. They're like 50 bucks a CD. It's with myself and a guy named, I don't know, this is Robert Allen, Mark Victor Hansen, John Asseroff, right? We sell these for 50 bucks a piece. Who'd actually like to get one of these? Who would like one? No, I mean, who would like it? Who? Oh, that's what I thought. Yeah, there you go. That's for you. Is that pretty awesome, right? How many guys also like free gifts? I brought a couple more. Who else would like one? They're 50 bucks each. Who would like one? Oh, you would like one. That's what I thought. Yeah, here you go. You can be in the light. It's okay. The light won't bite you. Did you want to get one? I only got a few more, so once they're gone, they're what? Oh, yeah, they're gone. Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, ladies first. Sorry. Man, damn. Turn left to right and say, always go VIP. And the way you do this is create so much value, they think you're what? They think you're crazy. Does it make sense? So we started to realize a long time ago, right? I said, if we can help you really own your space, if we can help you with your marketing to build a bigger tribe, a bigger community, you'll make more what? Money. Say, I am a money magnet. How many guys would actually like to work with our team for a whole year? It took you 1 to 2 hours. Would you do 1 to 2 hours a week? Would you put the time into it if it was tough? Are you guys okay? Yes? Are you guys committed to it? See, what I started to realize a long time ago, spend time with the ones that are hungry, write this down, hungry and coachable. Listen, if you're doing $100 million a year or more than that, I can't wait to learn from you, right? Doing $1 billion a year, I can't wait to learn more from you. But if you're not, be open to learn, because one little adjustment in your company can make a what? A massive difference. One little connection in your company can make a massive difference. And the third piece of this equation is called productivity. What's it called? I mean, it's on the sheet. You've got it laid out there because we laid this all out because we couldn't send the slides where they worked, but it doesn't matter. This is the snap chart, right? You can look at it. And we started to realize that productivity is king. It's everything, right? I want you to think of it, better yet, write down your one big goal for the next year on the right side of your paper. Write down your one big goal at home. Write down the one big goal. On the left-hand side of your page, write down your daily habits. And ask yourself, are they even remotely connected? Because for most entrepreneurs, they're not. We do daily habits that are way below the minimum wage. The minimum wage for a millionaire is $524 an hour. Begin to think of your current daily habits, right? And ask yourself, are they connected to your big goals? Because if they're not, they better what? They better change. Are you with me? Once you make these minor changes, there's no going back. See, I believe whatever you feed your mind is what grows. Those words by far become your actions become your habits. And if you don't like the results you're getting, look back at your habits every day. But we'll challenge you to literally diary those every day. And look every day, am I getting better or getting worse? Because I see for a lot of entrepreneurs, they wind up doing what? Write this down. No more MWAs. No more minimum wage activities. CEO does not mean Chief Everything Officer. Are you with me? It's understanding, once again, how do you become highly productive? We teach a process called quantum thinking. And part of this is that every night before you go to bed, right, no more to-do lists. You'll create what are called achievement lists always before you go to bed at night. Believe it or not, your mind will work on those solutions. I know this sounds crazy, right? Just try it. Turn off the TV for 10 days. Write out the 10 most important things every night you'll do before 10 a.m. the next day to make tomorrow one of your most productive days ever. Number one, you'll sleep less, you'll sleep deeper, and you'll be way more productive, right? And I don't want you to think about the things you're doing. I want you to think about all the things you're going to delegate. If there's one thing that we teach entrepreneurs to create a lot more success, get out of your own way. How many of you guys feel like sometimes you're always in your own way? Come on, be honest. Like there's never enough time in the day, right? I will teach you to get more done by 10 a.m. than most people do in a whole week. Would that be pretty cool? Think about this in the last 5 years. If you were just 25% more productive, how much more money would you have made? If you were just 25% more productive. What do you think is going to happen for the next 5 years if you don't change? You'll keep what? You'll keep burning the same. Exactly right. So once we help understand that productivity is everything, it's not what you do, it's what you delegate. Once you move into quantum thinking, and write this one down too, everybody, no more unscheduled calls. No more unscheduled calls before 10 a.m. I know this sounds crazy, right? You try 10 before 10 for just 10 days, no more unscheduled calls before 10 a.m. You're going to start to see that you become wildly productive. And turn left to right and say, you deserve more vacations. Because I think we all do, right? You're going to work this hard. I want you to get this and be very clear on this. There's no music without the spaces. There is no music without the spaces. So if you start to think about how do I get out of my own way, you become an expert in your space, you build one hell of a community, you put all the systems in place. iPhone apps, websites, CRMs, loyalty programs, sales processes, right? We teamed with a company called Wyndham Hotels, right? We have a great program with Wyndham, and now you can use our program that we have with them to give away certificates to all your clients, right? Anything they buy from you, right? Instead of paying like $500 a month, you pay like $10 a month. Is that pretty awesome? No timeshare. They pay the resort fee, $30, it doesn't matter. It's a gift. See, every time you have a client, write this down, it's important they feel appreciated. Your clients love to feel appreciated. If you don't have a customer referral program, we'll help you build one. If you don't have an affiliate program, we'll help you build one. Because these are things you have to have today, right? You have to realize any company you have, everyone works for sales. Everyone in your company works for sales. And the minute you can start solving those problems, I'm going to tell you for a fact that sales will definitely solve all of your problems. But then it's how do you become so much more productive? How do you go from being in the business to actually working on the business? Yes? How many of you guys could probably use some help with that too? How many times you feel like you're just in the business grinding every day, right? I'm going to tell you that you'll do a whole lot more in that company when sometimes you can step out of it and figure out how do we become a whole lot more effective. And the last piece of the equation, right? And we give you all this just so you know. Build a great team, have great systems, get great marketing, get yourself organized, really own your space and make more what? Money. How many of you guys are okay with that? Are you sure? How many of you guys want to make 2016 one of your best years ever? Say that's me. Turn left to right and tell them it's your time. Tell them. Because the last piece of the equation is probably the toughest part for entrepreneurs, right? I'm going to tell you that your why is everything. People laughed at Steve Jobs, right? But he said, listen, we always focus on the why and we figure the how out later. And I'm a big believer that if you don't have a big enough why, some adversity is going to come along and you're going to quit. You're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not tall enough, you're not this, you're not that. Oh, okay, I quit, right? I believe it, right? I believe when you start thinking about success the same way you start thinking about breathing, you'll become a whole lot more successful. But part of that is learning the process. And learning the process says, you know what? You've got to figure out why you're doing what you're doing. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs that are really talented, right? And they've kind of lost that passion. Because they're doing something they hate, for people they can't stand, for money they can't live in anyway. Does that make sense? When you can tap into a why that's so powerful, you don't need motivation anymore. You won't. You'll be inspired every day. You won't sleep as much. Turn left to right and tell them sleep is overrated. Tell them you can sleep when you're dead. Tell them. Come on, tell them. Tell them you got plenty of time for a dirt nap. Does that make sense? But while you're here, you make it what? You make it count. And the fun part of this process, right, is we help you build what's called a legacy plan. It wasn't, was your life successful? It's, was your life significant? Who's ever heard of the Nobel Prize? You know where the Nobel Prize came from? Anybody know? Alfred Nobel, yeah, but why? Yeah, tell me more. But why did he create the prize? Anybody know? You never heard the other half of the story, right? The other half of the story was that when his brother died, they published his obituary. Doctor of Death is dead. Could you imagine waking up tomorrow morning and seeing your obituary on the front page of the newspaper? Saying how much of an asshole you were? How your work killed millions of people, right? So he dedicated the last 10 years of his life to make a difference. So we work on with you, what's your legacy plan going to be? Begin to think about today, right? What are your 10 most important accomplishments in your life? Up till right now today. Who are the 10 most important people in your life? Have you really made a difference while you were here or not? How cool would it be to know that the next 10 years became your best 10 years? How cool would it be to understand that if you can operate from a place of really giving back and making a difference, anything and everything is possible? Say, I have big things to do. Turn left, right, and say, you know, you're sitting next to. Tell them. Tell them and have a little attitude, right? You got to have that billionaire swagger. You guys okay with that, right? You got to bring your A game to it every day. What allows you to have the A game during the toughest times is having a big why, something that inspires you, right? We challenge entrepreneurs. You come to our program, we build your why movie. For me, it's my kids, right? My son Austin's 24. My daughter Marissa, 22. My youngest son Evan is 17. I literally fly back tonight because they've got a big concert in Chicago. My older son just launched a brand new ticket agency. My younger son's actually one of the DJs there. And they've sold a bunch of tickets to fill up this place downtown. Then I fly right back. We have a big event in the Bahamas on Sunday, right? But it didn't matter. I wouldn't miss it for the world, right? So a lot of times when you start to think about what is it for you that really moves you? What is it that locks you into a core level? And you better find something. It's not money, I promise you that, right? We love social impact, but I love so much of helping entrepreneurs. If I can help you take your idea and grow it and build it, you'll tell 5 more people that tell 5 more people, right? And believe me when I tell you that we change the economy not through helping these big companies, we change the economy by helping small business. 90% of new employees come from small business America, right? You want to solve all these issues we have, you empower entrepreneurs, you empower small business. But that all starts with people taking ownership, right? And you got to find that passion. I was on a jet when I was 13 or 14 years old, and I didn't have a whole lot growing up as a kid. And I got on this private jet. I said to the guy, I said, where did this come from? Because I thought it was pretty cool, right? He said, there's 2 things you better learn to actually have a lot of these extra things in your life. He said, number 1, you got to become an entrepreneur. So write this down. You got to become a great and inspiring entrepreneur. And he said, number 2, you better have passion for what you do in your life, or you'll never live. I thought to myself, that where does the money come from? Because I didn't really understand at 13 or 14 years old, right? But now I truly understand, right? Become great at what you do. Fall in love with what you do. Be amazing at serving your clients, right? Go out of your way to have the coolest, greatest, fastest, best technology all the time. And believe it or not, so much of this technology today is what? It's free. You can literally get tens of thousands of dollars of resources that just 10 or 15 years ago, people paid a fortune for. You can get it all for nothing these days. But the things you got to do is, number 1, you got to own your space. Say, I am an expert. Turn left, right, say it's your time to be an expert. Tell them. Number 2, you got to build a community. You got to build a tribe. You've got to have systems in place, programs in place, funnels in place on a regular basis to actually grow that company. And you got to become wildly productive. You've got to get out of your own way. If not, it's not going to happen. You're going to wind up burning out, right? And of course, the last piece of the puzzle is you got to have a big why. You've got to have something that moves you right here. You better find a local charity, something to give back that really drives you and moves you to the core level, because if not, it's not going to happen. I'm a big believer if your why is strong enough, you'll figure out the how. And of course, you got to have more fun. How many of you guys are okay with having more fun? Turn left, right, and say you definitely deserve more fun. Tell them. You know, it was neat that I talked to Ray, and actually, we just had our Rainmaker over the weekend. Did you enjoy the Rainmaker over the weekend? Did you enjoy it?
Amazing.
Was it awesome? Was it worth every dime you paid?
It changed my life.
Thank you. You know, and did you get to meet some good people?
Amazing.
Yeah. Isn't that pretty cool now? That's all in one weekend, right? How many of you guys would love to have access to our network? How many of you guys have a product or service you'd actually like to grow a whole lot faster? Be honest, right? How many of you guys really have a good product or service that you need a bigger network to get out to the marketplace? Or you guys have a local business you want to get a whole lot more spotlight on, right? Doesn't matter if you're local, regional, national, if you have a new business, if you're an author, consultant, speaker, trainer, info marketer, it doesn't matter, right? We can help you in any one of those realms. Because you'll start to find that it's who you spend your time with that'll make all the difference, right? It really is. And I think once again, you know, I talked to Ray and I said, let's just take 10 of your entrepreneurs and create a case study, right? Let's figure the ones that are serious. If you're online, we'll make some room for you guys too. But if you're serious about this stuff, right, we'll make it easy for you. The first 90 days is tough. I tell the folks that are part of our programs all the time, you'll hate the first 90 days. You'll love me for the rest of your life. Would you guys be okay with that? How many of you guys are really serious about making the next year one of your best years ever? Making 2016 one of your best years. If that's you, stand up. Stand up. If you want to make the next year one of your best years ever, stand up. I love the ones that are serious, right? And how many of you guys would love to be part of our incubator program? How many of you guys have a serious business you'd like to grow? Put your hands up high. Let me see. And how many of you guys also like some crazy gifts? I mean, ones that are valued at more than $5,000. Who likes gifts that are valued at more than $5,000? If that's you, come up here. Come up front. Come on. We'll make room for one, right? How many? I want the ones that are serious, though. How many of you guys are really serious about launch, grow, build your business, and you like a crazy gift? You guys don't like crazy gifts? Then you should be up here then. What are you doing over there? Come on up. Don't be shy. See, the funny thing is a lot of times that we're afraid to step outside the comfort zone, right? If all I gave you was access to some of our network, right, that would be worth 10 times what you paid for this program. What are you guys waiting for? Come on up. Come on. Don't be shy. Come on, let's go. I love to figure out the ones that are serious, right? See, if you're not willing to vote for your success, why would somebody else? Why would somebody else? If I can help you guys just get 10 new customers, 100 new customers, right? If I can help you buy back some of your time, how much would that be worth? Say, my time is priceless. Until you realize that, you'll keep trading time for money. I will teach you over the next 90 days that your time is priceless. It's much easier to build a customer database than you could ever have imagined. I'll teach you how to 10x your lead flow by speaking once a week, just once a week. How often? It could be on teleseminars, webinars, live events. It could be networks, it could be BNIs, it could be tips. You guys have Club Corp right here in your backyard. Vistage, there are so many great groups right here. You don't even know how to get in front of those groups. We'll teach you how to get your message in front of more local groups to help you expand that tribe. Would that be pretty awesome? Yes. And once you do this, I promise you this, your friends will think you're what? Crazy. But I know for a fact it's the crazy ones that make all the what? Money. They make all the money and they do it consistently. So I told the team, I said, let's pick a team here today we can work with, right? How many guys would actually like to have me as one of you as your group coach? Would that be pretty cool? We would talk every week for a year. How many guys would do that? Could you show up for 1 to 2 hours a week? That's all I'm asking for, right? Can you be coachable and hungry? Yes? We'll give you access to some of the best networks on the planet. We'll give you access to the coolest software. You get to come to our events for a whole year. See, what we do is everything that we teach, right? We give you access for the whole year for the events. See the thing? Every event that's on here you get to come to. Is that pretty cool? Not just one event. You can go to as many as you want. Now, if you can't make it live, it's all virtual. Does that make sense? We give you the Quick Start program. So for the next 5 days, and I know it's getting close to Christmas, I get that, right? I'm going to show you specifically how to plan 2016. How many of you guys know for a fact if you have a better plan, you'll make more money? Listen, guys, everything we teach, we do. None of this is by accident. Make sense? We know our entire calendar for the next year. How cool would it be to have your 2016 plan when it came to your business so you knew quarter over quarter exactly what had to happen to hit your big goals? Would that be fun? How many of you guys would put the work into it, even if the work was tough? How many of you guys would like to be part of that first 10? And if you're online, they're going to give you a website. They'll give you a website on the screen. You'll be able to get to it. Yes? Would that be fun? But would you guys be coachable? Would you let us publish your story to our 250,000 plus database? They'd be okay with that? Yes? And would you be willing to give back to a local charity and document it? Would you guys be willing to give back to a charity if you made more money? I don't care what you give back. You can give back up to 2%, up to 5%. That's entirely up to you. But I'm telling you for a fact, the minute you start giving back, you're going to start seeing doors open for you could never imagine in your life. I used to always think, here's what I got, here's what I want. When I changed it, here's who I am, and here's what I can serve, I opened up more doors than you could ever imagine in your life. And because of that, we built a global brand, right? Whatever all these other companies were going down, our sales went through the roof because we built local communities in all these markets. And that's a big thing of this, that you have a great tribe right here. You have a great crew right here. You guys should have your own little masterminds, your own little teams, and work with their masterminds. If they have a mastermind program for you, I keep all the data from all the masterminds from 10 plus years ago because I believe that one person can change what? Can change everything. Does that make sense? But it's up to you to follow up. All the fortune is in the follow-up. I will give you my personal number today. You will text me your name, your email, and your website, right? I will look at those things. We will document your big goals, your big challenges, and I will put you through the ringer for 90 days. But I promise you, when you sharpen that axe, you're going to start to realize there's one word that we teach, get in what's called the flow. You get in the flow and you unlock unconscious competence, it's a whole different game. How many guys are up for the challenge? Would you put the work into it? Here's your commitment, guys. It's $250 a month for 12 months or one payment of $2K. And I need 1 to 2 hours a week. That's all I need. If you'll give me 1 to 2 hours a week for the next year, I promise you 2016 will be your best year ever. Would that be fun? How many of you guys are okay with that? And if we put together partnerships and I align people that actually become marketing products for your company, your service, would you guys be okay with paying me? You guys all right with that? That's where we make the money. I'm telling you, that's where the fun is at. Who would actually like to be part of that first 10? Who? Right here, number 1. You'll be number 1. Take it right to the back. Take that right to our team. Who else? Number 2? Who else would like to be 1? Quickly, guys. 3, 4. Take it right to the back, guys. Would you guys like one over here? Who else? Here you go. 5. Take it right to the back. Quickly. Who else? We got about 4 or 5 more spots left. Guys, once they're gone, they're gone. Does that make sense? Now, this is good for you and a guest. Does that make sense? You and a guest. And your kids. If you guys have kids, bring your kids, right? Believe me, it'll pay for itself 10 times over. Come together. Come as one team.
Thank you.
Here you go. That's it. That's the last one. So guys, if you're thinking about it, you got any questions at all, come see me. You got to fill that whole form out and turn it in because you get your quick start card today. If you're online, they'll give you a website to go to. You can go online to get the stuff. The only thing that's online is not going to show you the coaching, right? Because it's not available online, but these guys will make it available for you. So part of our program, guys, you'll get a coaching card. You'll get that coaching card today. Does that make sense? Those calls happen every week. Even through Christmas, they still happen. They never stop all year long. Good? So fill those out. You can do one payment of $2K or 12 payments of $249. Either one is fine. It doesn't matter. And don't forget, you can go to many of the courses you want. So the Rainmakers are on here. It's the Rainmaker Summit program, but everything else included on here. I've got about 30 seconds left. This has been awesome to be here. I want to say thank you so much. I love you guys. For the guys